Imagine a single decision that could decide the future of Europe's most iconic automaker, a move so bold it could either secure its place in history or see it outpaced by a tidal wave of competition from the East. This is exactly where Volkswagen stands today. And at the heart of this gamble isn't a new car or a shiny logo, but a chemistry experiment quietly playing out deep inside the battery cells of their next-generation electric vehicles. Why is Volkswagen, a company that helped put the world on wheels, betting billions on a battery technology that critics once dismissed as outdated? And could this shift not only save VW but also give Europe a fighting chance in the global electric vehicle arms race? Or is this a strategic misstep, with China and Tesla already preparing their next moves? Stay with us, because in the next 20 minutes, you'll discover why the future of the entire European auto industry could hinge on something as simple and as explosive as lithium, iron, and phosphate. It's 2024. The internal combustion engine that powered humanity for over a century is on borrowed time. Global leaders are pledging phase-outs. Investors are betting on batteries, not gasoline. In Europe, Volkswagen is more than just a car maker. It's a symbol of post-war resurgence and a backbone of the continent's economy. But right now, VW is under siege, from competitors in Silicon Valley and even more relentlessly, from state-backed juggernauts rising out of China. For years, Volkswagen's answer was the MEB platform, a unified chassis and electric toolkit meant to streamline development, cut costs, and let VW scale up electric car production fast. Between 2020 and 2022, Volkswagen pumped out over 670,000 cars on MEB, the ID.3, ID.4, and the eye-catching ID, Buzz van. But the world didn't stand still. Each new Tesla, each BYD or Neo rolling out of a Shanghai factory showed just how quickly the bar was rising for range, affordability, and tech. This led to a sobering realization in Wolfsburg. MEB wasn't enough. While the platform cut costs, it locked VW in with relatively expensive NMC, nickel-manganese-cobalt batteries. These batteries were powerful, yes, but their reliance on scarce and sometimes controversial raw materials, plus high price tags, meant mainstream EV adoption remained frustratingly out of reach, especially for the fiercely price-conscious European mass market. Enter the next chapter, MEB Plus or MEB Plus, VW's evolutionary leap. The headline change? A wholesale switch to LFP, lithium iron phosphate, batteries for most of its new cars. The technical details might sound dry, but the implications are seismic. LFP batteries are cheaper, safer, and more forgiving under heavy use. They don't catch fire as easily. They don't mind being fully charged every night. And crucially for European winters, recent improvements have made them resilient even in icy temperatures. VW CEO Thomas Schaefer puts it bluntly. The upgrade to MEB Plus comes next year, and we will roll out the cell-to-pack battery systems with LFP. That will be a major step forward in terms of cost for us. It's very important, and also in performance. We're very happy with that. It's all in plan. We will come in with MEB Plus across the models. Industry watchers are taking note. Matthias Schmidt, principal analyst at Schmidt Automotive Research, remarks, LFP is becoming dominant in Europe due to cost and supply chain advantages. VW's embrace is a watershed moment. So why did it take so long for a giant like Volkswagen to switch to LFP? For years, LFP batteries were seen as the budget option, great for city cars in China, but lacking the range and performance Western consumers demanded. But a technical breakthrough in 2023 changed the game. CATL, China's battery behemoth, unveiled its Shengxing LFP battery, able to recharge enough in 10 minutes to drive 400 kilometers, a direct assault on the old drawbacks of LFP. Suddenly, what was once a compromise became a competitive advantage. With this leap, VW's vision snapped into focus. Use LFP to drive down costs, make EVs affordable for the mainstream, and reserve the pricier, higher-performance NMC batteries for GTI and R-badged Halo models. The ID.2 coming soon will be the first to fully ride this wave. Priced to compete, designed to excite, and, crucially, built on a battery chemistry now able to satisfy both the accountants and the engineers. But here's the twist. Underneath all this innovation, there's a fight brewing inside Volkswagen's vast empire. Not all brands are happy. Audi and Porsche, VW's luxury siblings, have spent years and billions building their own platforms and supply chains. How can a Porsche Taycan, costing well north of $100,000, share core technology with a Volkswagen ID.3 priced for the masses? The internal politics are cutthroat. Herbert Diess, VW's former CEO, was toppled, in part, because he pushed too hard for a one-size-fits-all platform, called SSP, that threatened the distinctiveness of brands like Audi and Porsche. Now, the rollout of MEB Plus and LFP batteries is being watched closely by factions inside VW and its competitors outside. You can see this move towards LFP across the board, really, except for performance applications on the upper end. In the volume game, LFP is the technology, Schaefer explains. But will VW's premium brands accept a future where they cede some of their engineering sovereignty? Let's zoom out. Globally, the stakes could not be higher. The world stands on the cusp of a battery arms race. China, with its command economy and vertically integrated giants like CATL and BYD, dominates both LFP know-how and raw material access. Europe and America, belatedly, are pouring billions into gigafactory projects, from VW's own 240 gigawatt-hour goal to Tesla's Berlin ambitions and Northvolt's cutting-edge cell production. The ultimate prize? Driving battery prices down below 100 euros per kilowatt-hour, a threshold that could make electric cars genuinely cheaper than their fossil fuel ancestors. Yet even as VW invests, it is chasing rather than leading. Bloomberg and EF estimates LFP battery pack prices have already dropped below $100 per kilowatt-hour in China, and Wood Mackenzie predicts LFP will make up 40% of the global EV battery market by 2030. Meanwhile, on the horizon lurk even more radical shifts, like solid-state batteries. These, as Shirley Meng of UC San Diego cautions, promise higher energy density, but still face massive scalability challenges. This raises the ominous question. Is Volkswagen's pivot to LFP a leap forward, or a stopgap measure locking them into today's tech while rivals race ahead? VW tries to reassure investors. 6 new European gigafactories are planned, with in-house LFP production coming online in Salzgitter, Germany, to reduce reliance on Chinese imports and claw back control over supply chain and security. The company even set up VW Anhui, their first majority-owned EV joint venture in China, a desperate bid to learn, adapt, and stay relevant in the world's largest EV market. And let's not forget sustainability, adds Cormac O'Loughlin from Systemic. Sourcing battery materials ethically is no longer optional. It's a fundamental pillar of viability and public acceptance. As the pressure mounts to trace every atom of lithium and cobalt, LFP's advantage, using no cobalt, less nickel, takes on even greater meaning, especially under the harsh spotlight of European regulation. But all these grand plans conceal a deeper, more existential conflict. What if the world moves faster than Volkswagen can adapt? Consider this. China's startups have launched entirely new EV platforms in less than 2 years. Tesla iterates so rapidly it makes even giants sweat. Meanwhile, Volkswagen's next big leap, the SSP Super platform, which promises a universal chassis, unified batteries, and advanced self-driving, isn't due until 2029 at the earliest. By then, the technological ground may have shifted again. And inside VW's fortress, the struggle continues. Will mass-market LFP models cannibalize sales of pricier NMC-powered performance models? Will wary Audi and Porsche engineers continue to resist, slowing down the group's transition and risking the very platform synergy that was meant to be Volkswagen's ace in the hole? For now, all eyes turn to the ID.2 and its MEB Plus platform. If VW delivers affordable, desirable electric cars that everyday Europeans actually want, it could mark a turning point, not just for Volkswagen, but for the entire continent's auto industry. But if Chinese and American rivals continue to set the pace, even with Europe's best efforts, Volkswagen may always be playing catch-up. So here's the cliffhanger. Volkswagen is all in on LFP and a new European battery supply chain, but can it execute fast enough to outpace China's battery titans and Tesla's relentless innovation? Or is Europe once again backing yesterday's solution in a world that just won't wait? In the next half, we'll dive into the battlegrounds ahead. Pricing wars, breakthrough battery tech, European regulatory challenges, and whether Volkswagen's bold gamble can really rescue an industry, or if it's simply buying time before the next disruption. So, let's turn our attention to the road ahead. If Volkswagen is betting big on LFP batteries and the MEB Plus platform, what are the actual risks and opportunities lurking just around the bend, not only for the company itself, but for the entire European auto industry, for global EV buyers, and for the future of mobility? First, let's talk about the possibilities. Experts from Schmidt Automotive Research and Bloomberg NEF are ringing alarm bells. and blowing golden trumpets about the soaring prospects of LFP batteries. Why? Because in just a few years, LFP has leapt from a niche Chinese technology to a global frontrunner, thanks to plummeting costs, supply chain flexibility, and much improved durability. Some analysts now predict LFP will seize up to 40% of the EV battery market by 2030, an absolutely enormous shift. Volkswagen's move to anchor its next wave of mass-market EVs on LFP, manufactured in its new Salzgitter Gigafactory, sends a clear message. The company wants to reclaim its tradition as the people's car maker for the electric era. By targeting a battery cost under €100 per kilowatt-hour, VW is racing to hit the holy grail, affordable EVs at true scale. If they succeed, the cars rolling off these lines, starting with the ID.2 and eventually including a reinvented electric Golf, could put everyday drivers across Europe and beyond behind the wheel of an EV faster than ever imagined. But here's where things get really intriguing. Remember, VW isn't betting the whole farm on LFP alone. High performance and luxury offerings, think GTI, Golf R, or Porsche's fleet, are still slated for NMC batteries or even more advanced chemistries. We're entering an era of battery pluralism, where the chemistry inside your car depends on what you value most: cost, performance, range, or even provenance. The new platforms are designed with this flexibility in mind. Yet there are shadows on the horizon. China's battery giants, especially CATL, are not standing still. Their new LFP cells, just launched last year, boast breathtaking fast charging, up to 400 kilometers of range in a 10-minute charge. If these advances keep accelerating, Chinese EVs could leapfrog European offerings on both performance and price. VW's own Chinese joint venture, VW Anhui, is a nod to this reality, but it's a tricky dance. How much technology to share, how much to keep at home, and how to build a truly competitive product for both markets. And let's not forget the looming titan, solid-state batteries. Industry insiders like Professor Shirley Meng of UC San Diego warn that, yes, solid-state promises higher energy density and even safer operation, but real-world mass-produced solid-state packs remain at least 5 years out, with huge scalability hurdles. VW's next-generation SSP platform, the supposed unifier of all brands, isn't expected until 2029 at the earliest. Will LFP and MEB Plus be enough to bridge the gap until then? Or will the market outpace VW's plans? The answer hinges on more than just chemistry or software. There's a storm of geopolitical risk swirling around battery supply chains. Europe is racing the clock to localize battery production. 6 VW gigafactories, massive investments in Northvolt ET in Sweden, deals for raw materials far from home, all in the hope of shielding itself from supply shocks, tariffs, or the next global crisis. If regionalization fragments the global market, as some fear, costs could rise and innovation could slow. And then there are internal divisions. Audi and Porsche, reluctant to unify platforms, are fighting to protect their brand DNA and their margins. Will Volkswagen's group-wide cohesion survive these battles, or will the fissures widen as each brand chases its own idea of the perfect EV? Now let's get very practical. As an EV buyer, what does all this mean for you? First, it's good news on the wallet. LFP-powered Volkswagens, starting with the ID.2, promise to democratize electric mobility. Lower battery costs, combined with efficient platform engineering, have the potential to push EVs below the $25,000 mark. That means more drivers will finally have a viable, affordable choice to go electric. Second, peace of mind. LFP batteries are notoriously safe. They're far less prone to thermal runaway, the technical term for catastrophic battery fires. They're also proven to last for hundreds of thousands of kilometers, with less capacity fade, even if you charge to 100% every day. If you live in a cold climate, LFP chemistry is improving here too, thanks to research that's unlocking faster charging and improved low-temp performance. Third, it's about sustainability. Cormac O'Loughlin of Systemic reminds us, battery material sourcing is a huge deal. LFP eliminates the need for cobalt and nickel, two metals with worrying supply chains. As society wakes up to the true environmental and ethical cost of our tech, LFP is a step in the right direction. So, if you're shopping for a new VW or any mass-market EV, ask your dealer about the battery chemistry. Are you getting the latest LFP technology? Will your car be built on the MEB Plus platform with all the latest efficiency and software updates? For investors and industry watchers, here's the playbook. pay close attention to the pace of battery cost reductions and local supply chain development. If VW can ramp up its European gigafactories, and if companies like Northvolt deliver on production promises, Europe could claw back a meaningful share of the EV value chain. If not, expect even fiercer competition from nimble Chinese and American rivals. And if you're a car enthusiast, get ready for a new breed of performance EVs. The next GTI, the electric Golf R, these aren't just compliance cars. Thomas Schaefer, VW's CEO, insists the prototypes he's driven are monster cars, true to the fun and spirit of their combustion ancestors, but with the instant torque and silent rush only an EV can deliver. But be aware, rapid innovation means today's tech can age fast. Don't buy on hype alone. Battery warranties, upgradability, and software support are key. The VW Group's journey from MEB Plus to SSP isn't just about hardware. It's about delivering updates and features for years to come. Choose brands innovating not just in the battery pack, but in the experience. So, let's bring it all together. The big question: can Volkswagen's commitment to LFP and massive European battery investments truly deliver affordable, desirable EVs before global competitors leap ahead? The answer: it's possible, but far from guaranteed. Volkswagen is making a calculated, rational bet. By pushing hard into LFP, accelerating local gigafactory output, and laying the groundwork for a unified SSP platform, VW is putting itself in position not only to survive but to win in the high-volume, mass-market EV game. But the pace of change is relentless. If MEB Plus is just a stopgap, or if Chinese battery innovation continues to outstrip European efforts, VW risks being outflanked. Yet this isn't just a race of chemistry and kilowatt hours. It's about culture and agility. It's about whether a century-old industrial titan can relearn how to move at startup speed. Can it channel genuine excitement into design, deliver on performance, and build trust across new supply chains? That's the real test for Europe's auto giant. And here's a secret fact. While much of the spotlight is on batteries, the real revolution may come from software. The next era of cars isn't just about going electric. It's about seamless digital experiences, over-the-air updates, and new mobility business models. VW's SSP platform is designed to unify not just hardware, but software, from autonomous driving to in-car subscriptions. In the coming years, the battle for the driver's heart may be won as much with code as with chemistry. So, as you watch the headlines about new gigafactories, million-mile batteries, and design breakthroughs, remember the deeper story. The winners in this new automotive age will be those who marry innovation, sustainability, and user experience, at speed and at scale. Now, what do you think? Will Volkswagen's bold leap pay off? Are you excited about the prospect of affordable, safe, and stylish European EVs? Or do you think the next big thing will arrive from overseas? Let us know your take in the comments below. If you found this analysis valuable, please like the video, subscribe for more deep dives on the future of mobility, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss